The reason why I say Foodie Beauty mocks the Holy Quran is very simple. She has put her hands on it and shot footage of it and published it instead of just keeping it for herself. It's that easy. Because her channel is an ongoing fake drama. And that's one thing. You know, if it's like a lot of burping and farting and pretending to fight with some guy that you're actually working with, and you're creating like a soft scripted, phony reality TV show for clicks and views, that's not a criminal offense. And it's disappointing. Yet things become immoral when you take it too far. Chantel's advice to everybody is just leave her alone and let her enjoy their thousands and thousands of dollars lying to an audience of vulnerable, stupid people who believe this stuff coming from her. Yet, there's more that we can do. When you make fun of 9/11, then good people should do more than just decide not to watch it. They shouldn't do what Chantel tells them to do, which is if you don't like it, don't watch. Okay, fine, yeah, burp, fart, play with your food, tell your dirty stories. Okay, poor taste. We can choose to leave it alone. And you know what? If that's all it was, then it's pretty petty to follow with a fake reaction channel like Yabba or like French Fried Girl, and you're in on the drama and you're in on the fun. Heck, you can even go confront Chantel on camera, publish it, and nobody cares. Okay, it's all good fun. Everybody go make your money. Yet, when you make fun of 9/11, that's when good people should point the finger and say, you don't deserve to be on this platform. And Yabba gives you a pass, and Frenchie gives you a pass, and the majority of the so-called reaction channels give you a pass for the evil things that you do to draw attention to yourself. Because around here, drawing attention to yourself means cash. That's why you do it. Up to and including you luring a minor in from a megala to have an erotic talk with him on this platform without his knowledge or consent, of you live streaming it into YouTube, during which he thinks he's having an erotic talk with an older woman and he exposes himself. And you produce, I'm not going to use the real words, I'll use substitute words. You just produce cheese pizza on YouTube and you had your channel taken away for like 28 days and then given back. And then what do you do once you are back? You notice that there's a tragic school shooting in the United States of America, and you do this.
If I could give my life to save every one of those children who lost their life in that shooting, I would do it. All of you Americans who think you have right to assault rifles, fuck you. That's what that song means to me. What about you? Tell me your honest opinion. Am I wrong or what? Is that song to me is satire.
Commentary, at least.
Well, I mean, is it not the American anthem or no?
Just about at this point.
There you go. Fuck. Jesus Christ.
While it is possible for people to change, it is also possible that some people don't change. The quote that I like to share comes from Judge Judy, who after years and years and years of dealing with bad people came up with this, quote, "You are fully cooked," close quote, which means you're an asshole. And when you say you're going to change, you're lying, because we have enough history to know that you're an asshole and you're always saying that you're going to change and it doesn't happen. Let's just give you the benefit of the doubt, playing devil's advocate, almost literally. Let's pretend that this is real, which it is not. If you were really converting to Islam and you were changing things, you would walk away from this channel that you have made and all the money that you make with it by lying to people, and you wouldn't exploit what is supposed to be a spiritual awakening for clicks and money. You would be doing this stuff in private. You don't do any of those things. It's just like the way that smart people can tell that you were only ever pretending to fight with Nader El-Shami. Because if you were an abused person, and this is another thing where you've crossed the line on this platform, and it's not just about burps and farts anymore. When you pretend to be a rape victim, a victim of forcible confinement and assault, okay, well, you don't live with the guy, there's no kids with him, you don't dependent upon him for money. Let's just keep playing devil's advocate. Then you go get a women's shelter. Wait a minute, you don't even need a women's shelter. You have your own independent income. All right, you stop talking about him, and that's the end of it. You let the police handle it. You never charged him. There were never any court dates. It was all horse shit. And Nader is just a fucking punk that lies and plays along, saying that he was charged. He wasn't. And if you bring those charges and you drop them, then you're in front of a judge. It's all bullshit. After you said you had converted to Islam, and after you started wearing the hijab, and say you were following the Prophet Muhammad, and were reading the Quran, and you were doing all of these things, and you're being honest about them, you continued to be the same fucking asshole that you've always been on this channel, especially for the last couple of years. You go on your community tab, and this is just one example. You tell people that you're trying to serve the Almighty in the Muslim faith, and that you are a Muslim, and you've married a Muslim man. By the way, he's not Muslim, this Salah guy, if that's even his real name. He's an atheist like you are. And you continue to be the same asshole. You swear, you tell dirty sex stories, you get into stupid, pointless, silly little fake fights. Anybody that gives you some real criticism, there it says on the screen grab, let's do a petty reaction. Bees, 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 bees. You stuff yourself. Whether, you're just trying to follow a diet or going to join any of the world's major religions, they are all frowning upon gluttony. That's into the self and indulging. And you carry on with your gluttony while you wear the hijab, while you tell people that you're a Muslim. When you go to a mosque, all of this is just for clicks and money. It's all dishonest. So now that you say you're officially Muslim, if any of this was true, then you would say, and I'm taking a break from YouTube for 6 months at least. See you later. Bye. I'm going to burn that tattoo off my chest of 2 women licking each other. I'm going to lose some weight, show people that I'm making changes. Besides, you don't need to see me here anyway, eating all my stupid food, making a pig of myself, and talking bullshit against people who I'm actually working with, such as Frenchie and Nader and Dee and the Alan character, and squawking at people such as Milk Tea, who provide real criticism. I'm dropping everything. There are changes. None of that is going to take place because you're lying right now. Let us go back to the first reaction that I did on you based on something you did on July 10th, 2020. And I published on July 18th, 2020. So that was because today is January 24th, 2023. I'm working on this now. It's going to get published early on January 25th, 2023. This reaction of mine was published 2.5 years ago. And it was based on you as I stopped being interested with what you do because I thought you were a halfway funny mukbanger. You kept lying to people. And you sat down and you put on a fake voice and a fake face and you said, I am not doing any more unhealthy mukbangs. I'm sorry if that's what you're here for. And I said to myself, this thing is making fun of her own audience. She's lying. And I can tell that she's a liar. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go join everybody else and start up a reaction channel on this thing. Of course, I made the mistake of telling the truth all the time. So after, more than 2.5 years, I don't make any money. Yet, the truth is spoken here. Anyway, let's go check what you did back on July 10th, 2020.
Pre-weight loss versus post-weight loss. There she sits, with greasy hair, wearing a muumuu. And I said, that's it. Look at the look on her face. She's like looking at her audience like they're idiots, and if you keep taking it, then you are an idiot. So she was already getting on my back with the way she treats her fans, and I said, that's it, just the thumbnail alone. And then I got in there, and she said, no more mukbangs. And then as soon as she said it, she said, well, no more unhealthy mukbangs. Give me a quick review. And then I'll show you what she did 5 days later.
I'm not going back to mukbangs. I'm not going back to unhealthy mukbangs. And this is the butter chicken one.
And that was it. That was the straw that broke camel's back. And I said, this woman is just making fun of her audience on a regular basis. Just being mean to the people that support her. And now she's got another reaction channel.
That is enough with the trip down memory lane. Let's get to the same sort of material from you, which was published on October 7th, 2022, where you, again, make a big statement and lay down the law, telling everybody you are not going to do any more live streams. Here we go.
I will not be doing live streams anymore. I will be going to a recorded video format from now on.
You lie all the time. Just like other liars who want their lies to succeed because there's something in it for them. And on this platform, the lies equal cash. So you pretend to be converting to Islam only because you met up with that hustler Nader El-Shami and you worked with him to pretend to be giving you the drama of being in a tumultuous, abusive relationship to create a fake soap opera. And it climaxed with a promised criminal trial, which very strangely had the two of you screaming at each other live on this platform while you said charges had been applied and he said the police came and got him. Now, if you had a trial on the way, and if he had a defense to work on, neither one of you two grifters would be screaming at each other on live streams on YouTube. I called it long time ago. Hey, this is the credit I get from the rest of the community when I say hi there. It's me. I called it long time ago.
I love him, man. I told. Didn't I tell y'all? I love big women. Fuck y'all talking about? I think it's on crack. Man. Oh, AMC. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I love big women. What the fuck y'all talking about? Before I got with my wife, I love him. Man. I told. Didn't I tell y'all? I love big women. Fuck y'all talking about? I think it's on crack. I love him. Man. I told. Didn't I tell y'all? I love big women. Fuck y'all talking about? I think it's on crack. Man. Oh, AMC. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I love big women. What the fuck y'all talking about? Before I got with my wife?
There is no difference from what you're doing now and what you were doing back then. Only now you've got 20 pounds more makeup on and you're using the Samsung filter to make yourself look like this bizarre software creation. You're still whispering to people and putting on the same act that you've been doing since you were a little brat, doing it to adults. And then the other kid stole the other thing, and I'm lying to you now and getting all serious. And the thing is, my lying act only fools one type of person, stupid people who are vulnerable and easily misled, and the other friends that I have who swallow this are fake reaction channels who are in on this for their share of the money, because if you tell the truth like FBRC does, you don't make any fucking money. That is the thumbnail that Chantel added to what she published, what is now yesterday. Quote, "I am officially a Muslim revert taking my Shahada," close quote. What I tell you guys is that Chantel is a liar. She's not a mastermind. She is not the type who can get a small job at a bank and then 6 months later she leaves with all the money and nobody knows what happened. She is not a mastermind. There are plenty of ways to tell, because she is so reckless and desperate with what she does, that this is fake. That moment there in the thumbnail is not in the video footage that she published to go with it, which means she realized that the performance was pretty bad and pretty cringy, so they had to go shoot something over a second time. And Salah is now looking a little bit more heartfelt and serious with this. I mean, there are so many ways to tell this is fake. It is easy, as long as you regard it as fake. For those that are stupid beezers and take it for real, there's not much you can do to help them. And like for reaction channels that treat this as a real story, they're just there for their money. And especially like, Zachary Michael, who pretends to be so outraged by the homophobia that Chantel offers, yet he never says we need this thing off the platform yesterday. So he actually upholds that. At 60,000 views per, believe me, with the peanuts that I get, at 1,000 views per, I know just how much cash that man is getting. So it's a temptation, and especially as an American, for him to uphold a Canadian wildebeest who makes fun of 9/11 and makes fun of kids getting shot in the USA. Zachary is also a piece of shit too. So now let's get to the reaction of this latest piece of lying, evil, blasphemous garbage put together and published by that liar, Foodie Booty. Let's do it.
Hi. So before I get into this video...
Shut up. This here is the liar setting the stage with the fake voice. We're all familiar with it by now. And this is like... Here, if I give you all the examples, this reaction is going to be like 2 hours. We're already at more than 17 minutes as it is. Let me get a fairly recent one. Remember when she pretended S-Jam showed up at her door? She made a video after that with a cartoon bear on it and with silly music in the background. And she was like this, "Guys, I really don't want to make a video like this. It's just, you gotta stay away from my house. I'm only an entertainer, and S-Jam came to my house, and the police are handling it now, and I don't want to have to make this video." And there was music and everything. And I'm like, if you really get a weirdo at your door, you call the police, they handle it. That's the end of it. And of course, after she did that, S-Jam became an on-channel friend that she would talk to on the channel. And I said it was garbage as soon as she published that video. It's because you don't go on and talk about stuff like that. It's all for clicks and money. If somebody actually shows up at your door, you don't talk about it because that's giving them attention. And the police will tell you, don't make a video about the guy. We're handling it. So it's the same thing. So here she is. "Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you about my journey to Islam."
I wanted to give a brief introduction as to what led me here. Welcome to my life journey, and thanks for watching. So in April of 2022, I decided to go on a trip to Cuba to get away from everything and to do some vlogging. Now, I was in the middle of a very abusive relationship.
Even though Chantel is telling a story with powerful adult aspects to it, she doesn't have any life experience other than telling lies and being with Pete's and sitting around the townhouse doing drugs, staring at the floor while coming up with filthy stories to share. And she doesn't realize that this doesn't fool any reasonable adult. Pathetic losers on her channel, yeah, it fools them. Yet, real adults who are not imbeciles, it doesn't fool them. I mean, this almost looks like a troll. I mean, it looks like a parody of herself. It says, I was in an abusive relationship, and look at this scene here. Like, I mean, there was no abusive relationship. It was all for clicks and money. It was all fake. It was drama. Like, Chantel is confronted with, how do I get more free money? I have to have people paying attention. So what is it? Do lots of work or invent bullshit that people pay attention to? Let's see. Lots of work? No. Invent bullshit? Yeah, that sounds a lot easier. So she wasn't in an abusive relationship. And that fake story hit its crescendo, as I keep reminding everybody, when she promised a criminal trial that, of course, never happened. I called this as horseshit long time ago. I'm gonna, I'll say it again. If you got charges on your back, you don't get on camera and scream at the woman who brought the charges. If you bring charges, you don't scream at that man live on internet television the same time he's screaming at you. When they were both doing that, it was like, okay, this is LARPing, right? So, of course, she says she drops the charges. So, the thing is, the reason why I had to repeat myself talking about that is because Chantel is never going to leave it alone. She's always going to return to it. That proves to you that none of it ever happened. Of course, she wasn't raped by the guy. All she would have to do is sit on him. So, what she does is she steals the nobility of a struggle of women who really have had to suffer these assaults and try to put their lives back together. Chantel steals all of that and makes it her own. And then she draws attention to herself. And it's not the attention, she wants it. She just wants money. If there's no money in YouTube, she'll be picking her toenails and smoking dope in an alley somewhere where she belongs, all right? So she has to keep returning to it because it's meant to be profitable. She didn't get beaten up and raped by the guy. It was all pretend, and she's going to keep using it and keep using it and keep using it. And I'm going to publish this on January 25th, 2023. And so here we are just yesterday, January 24th, 2023. She's still using it. Hey guys, I had like a really if any of this stuff happened, like to a real woman, she would just be getting rid of it and getting it out of her life and staying away from that guy. That'd be the end of it. You don't keep talking about it like it's a bad TV show with a low budget and you have to keep using the same losers and the same old storyline. She's using it as of yesterday, January 24th, 2023. She keeps using it because it's all fake and it's just profitable. So there she is. Hey guys, I was suffering an abusive relationship. Look, there's a picture of me suffering with it. It led me to Islam.
And I thought I was losing my mind. And I woke up one day and just felt an immense amount of peace, and I didn't know why.
Is there anybody at this channel which believes this story? No. Beezers? Yeah. So, Chantel, who, has let herself go for years, and her idea of being a hedonist is just eat shit food all the time, do drugs, and that's it. And she's got this one guy that she's ever had in her life. Like, check her personality and her horrible hygiene traits and all the rest of that stuff. How in the heck is she going to end up with anybody except a fucking loser pushover simp such as Pete's? So he's still there in her life because she's using him and he likes being used. I mean, that much. It's like, why would you live with Chantel, exposing yourself to being on her stupid videos because you got nothing you want to do? Only losers work with Chantel. So she tries to get us to believe that she's having this wild sex life, fucking everybody. And, she just got so tired of the fucking everybody lifestyle and she wanted something more real. And so she prayed to God and then felt a great sense of peace. And then Salah was emailing her the very next day. This reminds you of the Godfather movies. when Fredo betrayed the family and he explained to Michael why he did it. And Michael says, and you believe that? You believe that story? Does anybody out here believe that this atheist witch, Chantel, with her Ouija boards and all of her satanic horror movies, was praying to God? I mean, and she got a miracle? Like all the suffering in the world that we're supposed to expect? That God provides Chantel with some miracle?
I felt at that moment like I started finding my way to Allah. But as a Christian,
Chantel is not a Christian or anything else. She's an atheist. She said she doesn't believe in God for years. Let me see if I can remember everything. I'm trying to get this done quickly. She hates Christmas. Her life philosophies are, your happiness is not my responsibility, and too fucking bad for you. And it's on one of those clip channels, and they put goofy music behind it, so I don't want to borrow from them. Where she said on one of her past streams, just do what you want, eat what you want, and die by the time you're 60. And that is her life philosophy. And lying to people all the time along the way is part of that. And I don't know how the rest of this reaction is going to go. Yet, like I said earlier, to play devil's advocate, if any of this was real, she wouldn't be on her channel. She would be privately exploring her new religion and wouldn't be trying to turn into clicks and money and coming up with lie after lie after lie after lie to sustain it and to cash in with it.
I didn't feel connected fully somehow, but I couldn't quite place my feelings. Months later, after nearly giving up on love, God sent me Salah.
I do not judge on people who are heavy or for their appearance. My reaction channel is about Chantel and her lies and the immorality of the way she puts herself in the spotlight for things that she doesn't belong to be. The 9/11 tragedy, the tragedy of kids getting shot in the United States. It's just about a couple weeks ago, she referred to black men as dogs and said, ooh, and put them in a situation where she said they were spit roasting some white man's wife. She's ugly on the inside. So that is how we interpret what she looks like externally. Yet with that said, the picture that she's put up there is hideous because it's a person who is in poor health because of the morbid obesity, using gobs of makeup and squashing itself using unnatural computer software to produce the physique of somebody who is actually sort of slim. And so she takes that hideous computer creation, puts flowers in the middle, and then there's this Salah clown on the right, who is also an atheist. Because if he really was following any faith, he wouldn't be tolerating this fucking bullshit, which is what he's doing. So he's in on it. There's two atheist pieces of shit. And again, you don't have to have a faith to be a good person. It's just that she's selling the story of a wonderful conversion to Islam, including the Almighty of that faith giving her this wonderful man because she asked for it. It's all ridiculous, and Chantel is so filled with evil and has been lying for so long. And even though she's a liar, she's not a mastermind, and she has the sophistication of a 14-year-old at best. And she doesn't realize that this story is horseshit. And this picture she's put together is hideous because it just screams lying and deceit, which is, I guess it's the same damn thing. Well, dishonesty, pick your word. This is a hideous depiction of lies for clicks and money.
My beautiful husband, and I went to Kuwait to marry him. Salah is a Muslim man. Shortly after being in the Middle East, I became a hijabi, and I can't explain the level of peace I now felt.
When liars get caught in a lie, they just keep on lying. And that's what Chantel is doing. And I'm rushed. I'm trying to get this done before all the, normal, boring reaction channel horseshit gets out there. And then everybody just moves on. So forgive me if I'm repeating myself. I ran through this once and I made some notes and I'm trying to get the fucking thing finished. That, she says, I became so peaceful after I became a Muslim and these wonderful changes started happening. She went right back to her channel, screaming with her fake fight with French Fried Girl. She goes to her community tab. She's screaming at Nader El-Shami. She's screaming at Didi. She's talking about bodily discharges coming out of his diseased penis and her sickened vagina. She's talking about shit stains on Nader's underwear that she pretends that she washed them. She's just vile, 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 vile. Which would be, I don't want to say fine. It's just like, there's no accounting for taste then. All right? If people dig that kind of a thing, great. It's not a criminal offense. Yet, making fun of 9/11, making fun of kids getting shot, luring minors into a filthy talking live stream, being racist towards blacks, all of it, what is she doing on this platform? There have been no changes. It's the same vile piece of shit exploiting things for clicks and money. And now she's exploiting Islam, which should be more than enough to get her kicked off this platform forever.
And love and just total acceptance in every way, support from my husband and from God. And for this, I owe Allah my life.
What did she have? A life of crime, running with a gang? Was she running around with assault rifles, holding up liquor stores or something? And she was just about to be part of a gang war, and now she isn't, and so she owes Allah her life? Want to talk about fake drama for clicks and money?
I decided that a life of servitude to Allah is what brings me the most peace. And I have failed many times to be a quote-unquote good Muslim.
No kidding. How about you have failed many times to be a good human? Leave the religion out of it. And, if I can remember correctly from the Christian Bible, that Jesus said, go and do the sinning no more. That's it. Leave the bad stuff behind. And Chantel says, I have failed many times. Well, the thing is, you just keep failing. You just do whatever the fuck you want, yet you want to consider yourself to be a member of this faith, which you're not. I mean, you can't be part of it and fuck it up all the time and just say, I have failed, yes. It's like, let's say she decides to join a Christian church and then she's dealing crack on the weekends. Yes, it is true. I have failed. That's where they say, get out of our church. Stop selling the fucking crack. I know that I have failed many times to be a good Christian by selling crack. Yeah, stop doing it. What the fuck? Well, I actually like the money. Yeah, get out of here. You're not a Christian. Fuck off. I can remember this much from the Bible. You will know them by their fruits. I don't know what passage that is. And all that Chantel brings is evil. So she's no Muslim. She's no Christian. She's no anything. She's just an asshole working a storyline. I don't know if I'm going to get this in the rest of the reaction. I might as well get it now. The only reason why she's doing this is because that grifter that she worked with, Nader El-Shami, to pretend to be an abusive boyfriend for clicks and money, happens to be from that part of the world. So nobody else will work with her. She had to go over there to find another grifter to work with. And it's just a bonus that she figured out, hey, if I pretend to be Muslim, I can cover most of my blubber around the shoulders and the head with the hijab. That is it. There's nothing deeper about it. Anyway, she's just finished saying, I have failed many times. Yeah, then you're not part of the faith. Okay? That's true of pretty much all religions. I'm not aware of any religions where you can fuck things up all the time and still be part of it.
As I've allowed emotions and drama to get the best of me at times, and I still struggle with many demons in my life.
Trauma. There is no trauma. All that shit with Nader El-Shami was a production to be offered in public on this platform for monetized clicks and cash. And she's warning you that, she's going to be returning to it. It's actually because of trauma. No, it's because it's a fake fight, fake drama, and you have to get people to pay attention to what the fuck you do here to make money. So you can either put in some hard fucking work and be a real YouTube creator, which you refuse to do, or just keep delivering the horse shit. And that works because you're allowed to come back here and do it. If I had my way, after you make fun of 9/11, after you lure teenagers in for a dirty talking live stream, you're gone for good. Yet here you are, and it's like, oh, I have the trauma. Aren't you supposed to be fucking married? Let's pretend that it's real, which it isn't. You think your husband would take you to the side and say, baby, let's stay private, huh? You've got a lot of healing to do from that. No, what does he do? He says he's going to come to Canada and beat up Nader El-Shami. And Nader doesn't report it. And Chantal keeps her channel. It's all horseshit.
However, I will never give up trying. Allahu Akbar. Thank you for watching my story.
Want to know what is wrong with this footage? Only Chantal and Salah, if that's even his real name, have on-camera speaking parts in this fucking grift. Everybody else is off-camera for good reason, because it's fucking fake. There's no reason why there can't be other people in this footage, other than it's all fucking fake.
Allah ilaha
illallah
illallah
wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah.
Let me get in here, not as if anything of this is real. Let's just pretend that it is. Okay, so let's start at the top and go down. Okay, so she disavows any religion that contradicts the religion of Islam. All right, so you and Pete are done as friends. I mean, there's no way you're coming back to that townhouse and even staying there for 1 month with him, because now you're hardcore Muslim, for real, if we believe your little story. I mean, no talking to Pete, forget it, especially because you pretend like you're married. Okay, so let's pretend that it was real. He's LGBT. I think it's just for the good of your channels and to attract attention, because there's maybe 2 or maybe 4 things about your stories that are real, which is Pete's, and he's the perfect pathetic man for you to have. If ever there is somebody you should marry for real, it's him, because you two are a perfect match. Yet he doesn't bring anything, because he doesn't work for anything. So you have to get your income like this. Anyway, I just saying, if you want to pretend this is real, then one of your videos is going to include, guys, I know that some of you have a fondness for Pete's, and I used to as well, and in a small way I still do. I hope he finds his way and turns away from his wrong ways, yet I cannot, be fraternizing with him. Or if he identifies as a her, I don't know, and I don't even care. I just can't have anything to do with Pete's anymore. I hope that we have your understanding on that.
وأبرأ من كل دين يخالف دين الإسلام. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. Welcome to Islam. You are officially Muslim now.
مبروك بيبي مبروك. الحمد لله مبروك.
Shukran. A nice new Quran, and it has English translation.
As I said earlier, Chantal is mocking the Holy Quran simply by putting her hands on it, because she is not really Muslim. What she is doing is integrating it into her fake live action role playing, which includes wearing the hijab while she holds the book and using that as a costume. And Salah, who isn't Muslim either, because if he were and had been for years, he would say, baby, don't shake the book at the derbeezers. Just put it to the side, sit down, and respectfully tell the beezers that now you're a Muslim. Don't shake it at everyone like a tourist item that you've been to Kuwait or something like that. After just like a quick search for it, I got the question, how should the Quran be handled? The answer is there would be no requirement for performing wudu prior to handling the book, but one would expect that it is handled as little as possible with clean hands and great respect. Close quote. Chantal is bandying it about like a tourist item. She's using it as a prop for her lying channel. And that further goes to demonstrate that none of this is real.
And how to pronounce everything in English, so this will be a really good read.
Everything about Chantal with her life experience is about a pathetic femcel drawing on the past, and she has matured no further than a 12 to 14-year-old in high school. That's where her personality comes from, where she's always saying everybody is ugly. I mean, that's a mean teenage girl talking. And so she fails at portraying a real adult relationship. You know, Pete's is another loser. He hangs around her because, I mean, he's got nothing else to bring to the table, and she'll use him as long as he tolerates it. I mean, what else does he want to bring? What else does he have to offer? So she fails at portraying an adult relationship. We can all tell that it's bullshit. She's not in love with that guy, and she's not married to him either. Then, when it comes to the monumental event of going to a new religion, she is not having the sophistication to portray it properly. She just said that the Holy Quran should be a really good read. Like, you know, it's like the latest horror novel that she picked up at the convenience store. And it's like, oh, this should be a really good read. She doesn't have that life experience. And she's holding it as a prop for her live action role playing channel. And, you know, like, say something, you stupid bitch. And she has to say, it'll be a really good read.
As I learn more about my new faith.
MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah.
This lying piece of shit, Chantal, reminding you again, is not a lying mastermind. She does not have the sophistication or the life experience to know that this is so fake. If this moment was real, then it would be the two of them with friends and family, all on camera, all with consent, all speaking and acting normally, and they would be congratulating her on becoming deeper into the family that she's married to and becoming part of their faith officially. There'd be a lot of hugs and smiles, and this moment here would be part of it, as one of their friends would be shooting video, and then he would make an announcement to all the friends, and it would be like a real emotional moment. What we have here is two lying grifters in their fucking shoebox in an industrial ghetto somewhere in Kuwait, setting up the camera, then getting in front of it while the hamster remains of Mary the hamster are still stained on the floor. And it's like, okay, let's pretend like we really did something, and, you know, we're really married, and you're so proud of me. Okay, and so they do that, and they shoot it, and it's acting.
Today, Chantal, my pretty wife, become officially a Muslim, alhamdulillah, and may Allah bless her. I love you, baby.
Hey guys, assalamu alaikum. So today I have taken my shahada. So I am now officially Muslim. My shahada.
I'm not going back to mukbangs.
So I'm not going back to unhealthy mukbangs. My shahada. So I am now officially Muslim.
No, you are not, because you are an atheist and do not believe in any religion. So as such, you feel that they are all to be exploited for clicks and money, just as you exploit the tragedy of 9/11, just as you exploit the tragedy of kids getting killed at a school shooting, just as you exploit teenagers by luring them into a filthy talking live stream for attention, clicks, and money, like referring to black people as dirty dogs. Those are all the things you do to bring you the precious attention, which means cash.
Follower of Islam. And for those of you who do not know, Shahada is the first pillar of Islam. It's an oath and creed recited, swearing to only worship Allah and to follow the word of his prophet Muhammad.
There is blasphemy all over this production that this thing has made. She should not be uttering the words, quote, the prophet Muhammad, close quote, because she is not Muslim. Ever since she's said that she is Muslim and starts dressing as a Muslim, she has acted like Canadian atheist white trash and has not changed one bit.
So those of you who are not familiar, I'm Canadian.
So for those of you not familiar, like, what does she think? That this is going to be going viral? And people away from her sad little battalion of idiots are going to pay attention to this? We have this liar from Cornwall, Ontario, Canada, in a shoebox in an industrial slum somewhere in Kuwait, telling you, while wearing a costume, for those who do not know, yes, I am Canadian, married in Kuwait to a man from Syria. I'm still rushed to get this thing done, so forgive me if I already said this. It's just that the people that she works with to produce her fake dramas for clicks and money are all losers. Nader El-Shami is a loser. Didi is a loser. The Salah character is a loser. And the Salah character is just a friend of Nader's. So she goes over there. Not because, people that do the fake reactions say, oh, you're so desperate for a man, you had to go. No, that just happens to be a friend of Nader's. And whatever Salah is getting out of this, what he gives her is performing on camera to be her husband. And she just wears the hijab to cover her blubber. That's all there is going on here, and she doesn't believe anything because she's always been an atheist, and she's never shown us any changes. She's never acted like a Christian, like she says, like she's about to say that she used to be, and she hasn't made any changes to Islam. And the asshole that she's working with is not Muslim or believes in anything either, because he wouldn't participate in this if he was. It's all a lie.
I am married to a Syrian Muslim here who lives in Kuwait, and we are in Kuwait right now together. So I will be going back home soon for a bit, and inshallah I will be returning. So for those of you who do not really know my history,
we do know your history here, and we can know things that you haven't spoken to by the fact that you've left them out of your history, as I will demonstrate very soon.
And just a brief recap, I went from being born and raised Catholic, although my family was not really terribly religious, but I was baptized and I went through communion and confirmation as a Christian.
With this, the creature is trying to go backwards and create a story that doesn't exist. It's called revisionist history, because this all came about because she's working with Nader El-Shami. He happens to be from that part of the world. He's friends with Salah, if that's his real name or not. They work out a deal to keep this drama going. That's all there is to it. So now, to make the story more dramatic with the fake drama that she's creating, it's like she's used to be Christian, and now she's turning her back on her first faith. And it's such a big move to convert to Islam. Remember what I said earlier? We can know her history with things that she has not provided to it. In all the videos she's ever made, starting with makeup and food, and then, the filthy stories, and then just hanging around doing drugs and being herself, when has she ever said, when we would go to Mass? When has she ever said, yeah, my mom had to go to Mass? When has she ever said, my sister got back from church? What we know about her father, this is not an important person, right? However, people who were raised in a religion just to be cute like to get their kids baptized and then they just forget about it and move on. She's not Christian, and she's not, as she's going to say, a follower of Christ. She has always espoused that she's an atheist, and she's always said she hates Christmas. Pete is also an atheist. He also hates Christmas. Chantal plays with Ouija boards. She loves horror movies. She does celebrate Halloween because it's all demons and evil and hedonism and witches and things like that. I wish I could remember all examples, yet I'm going to give you just one more. Wait, two more. She got in trouble by showing a picture of a corpse in one of her videos. And on Halloween, she drove around live streaming from a graveyard. Yeah, she is no Christian and never has been. So that's how we can tell, because she doesn't talk about those things ever in the history of her channel, either with prepared videos or the live streams either.
Follower of Christ.
Fuck off and leave me alone, Jesus. Fuck off already, Jesus.
Fuck! Jesus Christ.
Follower of Christ. But that was more just of a traditional kind of indoctrination, if you will. I never really... Christianity, there was things about it that just never really fully resonated with me, made sense to me.
Chantal has been loosened up on tons of live streams with booze and marijuana and other things. She has sold her bare ass on OnlyFans for $5 a month. When has she ever had to sit down to tell us the things about Christianity that she has a problem with that didn't resonate for her? Never. It only makes the story more dramatic with this fake drama for her to go back now, after never having talked about Christianity or her family following Christianity, and her only ever providing her assertion that she's an atheist and she hates Christmas and she loves Halloween and all the rest of the things that I don't want to keep repeating for this. Now she goes back and pretends to be this Catholic who turned away from Catholicism because there were things about it that didn't resonate for her. And this is going to carry on for the next comments.
And I went through a period of atheism, and then also I became agnostic, and now I would be considered, I guess, a Muslim revert.
This is more revisionist history that she's putting into the story, saying that, well, then I went through a period of atheism, and then agnostic. She has never talked about these things on her channel. She's offered very explicit, dirty stories. I think the worst is, the Sloppy Joe one. I'm not going to talk about those things now. It's just I've been in reaction to her for more than, for 2.5 years. And so, we know her history. So, she talks about explicit things, and she was just on her community tab a couple weeks ago talking about bodily discharges from Nader's penis and Dee Dee's vagina. So this thing will talk about anything to draw attention to itself. And she never had to sit down and talked about, and then I became an atheist. And she also never had to sit down about, And then slowly I became a spiritual seeker by then becoming agnostic. And none of this ever happened. She's just white trash. And she has only ever just talked about stuffing herself with food and being a liar. And the community of creators on this platform should not have to suffer this thing walking in here, putting itself in the center of attention for tragedies just to get people talking about it, and then carrying on with this fake drama of pretending to have converted to Islam. Because for some people, this sort of activity, for lack of a better word, is significant. Some people, aren't necessarily concerned about getting a professional position. They're wondering about whether there is or is not a God, and then which God offered is the right one. And so you're confronted with the world's religions brought to you by people who say this is the way, and you have to question them and make your own decisions as to how much of it is true and how much of it is mistranslated, how much of it is horseshit, what to do. And you seek and seek and seek, and the people who offer their religions are totally devout to them, so they're not going to be like playing games of trying to figure out, well, you can question this and don't question the other. And then, it takes a long time, and for some people, they're very much interested in it. Chantel is not that type of person. End of story. She's just a hedonist, lying piece of shit who found out by falling ass backwards into money that you can get a lot of money around here by putting yourself in the center of attention, exploiting things, getting people talking, just carrying on with lies with this fake drama. She never went through a period of being an atheist. She never went through a period of being agnostic. She never decided to turn her back on Catholicism. This is all horseshit coming from a lying piece of shit who just met up with Nader's buddy, and they're doing some sort of a business deal, whatever it is, and then she's like, if I wear the hijab, I can cover the blubber. That is all it is.
I will talk more about the reasons for that, why I chose to follow Islam, mostly just when I came to the Middle East and met my husband, Salah. I found a sense of peace when I learned more about Islam that I didn't expect to have, and I found that turning to Allah and putting my trust in Him in a lot of ways helped me deal with a lot of things that are difficult.
This reminds me of American-style televangelists, because all the stories are the same, right? Everybody's coming on there and says, oh, and then I turned to this, and I don't want to look like I'm making fun of Christianity, right? Islam is not my religion. I don't really follow any religion. And you can tell from my history. I've been doing this channel for 2.5 years. I don't sit down with the live streams and we talk about religion. I leave it alone because it gets people arguing. It's like politics. If I lean towards anything, I might lean towards Christianity. Yet I'm telling you guys, I don't even go to church, all right? So those types of TV shows, the people are all bringing the same story, and then you turn to Christianity, you felt this sense of a weight being lifted off, and they're all talking to the camera, then they ask for your money. And Chantel is bringing a story of, I went to the Middle East, I traveled, because God gave me Salah, because I was living a life of having sex all the time. Yeah, right, this thing. And I wanted to leave that lifestyle behind. And I said, someone, give me a good man. And I prayed to God. So the next day, Salah was contacting me. I traveled to the Middle East. After I arrived, a sense of peace overtook me and turned to my husband's religion of Islam. And now I have now become an official Muslim. And it's all garbage. This story that she's telling you, none of it happened. And this is the part where, she says, and then I found such great peace in this faith. And she's just taking pages from other storybooks. Like, if anybody gets that from a religion, you'll meet them in real life, and they'll just tell you their story. and that'll be it, right? They don't go on television and try to turn a buck out of it. And Chantel has been a hedonist, vile pig her whole life. And ever since she put on, for her, this costume, she hasn't changed one bit. And she's been really exposed as not being married. Like, no way is she married. Ever since this storyline started, I've been saying that she's not married because she's not in love with the guy, and we can tell they have no chemistry. And I mean, there's so many things. Like, she lied and said that he was comfortable and was going to take care of her. Okay, so you found somebody that you love and you've got money, then you retreat from everyone else. And you're gone from YouTube because you're happy with your marriage and you leave and you're into each other. No, she stays right on YouTube along with him and brings him on board. Nader gets fired up again. Nader and Salah are squawking back and forth at each other. This is like, 12 to 14-year-old female high school horseshit that Chantel is offering because she has no life experience and her followers are idiots. And Milk Tea did a great job with properly exposing, because Milk Tea has been to these countries and she has a credible channel, and explained that Chantel's marriage either does not exist, or if it does, it was obtained through false statements or false documents. And Chantel was super angry because Milk Tea is a woman. She did a reckless reaction, and that reaction has since been taken down. And so Milk Tea did a great job. I don't, hang around her channel much because I got other things to do, and by the same token, she doesn't hang around my channel. So even though she did a great job, when I was checking on her channel, she said in her most recent reactions, I don't know, 2 or 4 of them, that Chantel's trying to prove something to Nader. I disagree with her there. It's a phony relationship for clicks and money. And to reiterate, it's like if there are charges on a man's back, and if you really are an abused woman, then you stop talking to each other. And these two, Nader and Chantel, screamed at each other through the previous holiday season. And no, it's horseshit. Milk Tea started her channel 1 month and 1 year before mine. And she's got one live stream archived, which says it's not a live stream, so maybe it was just a live test or something, or pre-recorded, uploaded using the live to test that. I don't know. Yeah, and the first video that she has published is from May 9th of 2020. And it's the Chantel reaction. So even though it's referred to as Milk Tea, right from the get-go, it's Chantel reactions. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? Nice person, did a great job on the marriage, and I've gone to her channel, off and on throughout the past couple of years. It's just that I've learned through bitter experience that if you dismiss the fake storylines as just what they are, fake, you drive away what is largely a women's audience for a women's soap opera. Chantel is beyond just being disgusting and vile. There's also these extra storylines she's bringing in, and so if you wipe them out being fake, then you kill the fun and you don't get to tag along for the storyline. That doesn't mean that there isn't other things that I can react to here to make it fun. It's just that it's largely a woman's soap opera, and you have to play along to be rewarded for your work. And I do as much work as anyone, and a lot more work than most, and I get peanuts. And anyway, that's the end of that little rant. Nothing against Milk Tea, though. Nice person. And she is not anything like Yaba and French Fried Girl. She brings proper heck to Chantel for the most part. Like Charlie Gold brings proper heck to Chantel for the most part. And Charlie Gold did the best reaction ever by reacting to the Amegala thing very fast and doing a great job, and largely was solely responsible for getting Chantel kicked off the platform. So respect.
For me now even, and things that were difficult for me, things that I saw maybe at the time as a curse, actually became a blessing in a lot of ways and a big teacher.
I wanted her to get out the words big teacher. And the abrupt edits are not coming from me. I'm giving you all the footage. I'm not leaving anything out. So when you get an abrupt cut like that, it's not me making a mistake or jumping over something. I just want her to get those words out and react to it. And the reason why there's so many of those cuts is because she's telling a fake story. So every minute and a half, she's like stopping, going, fuck, shit, and she has to start over. So it's like the story of people who find religion, right? And they look back and say, I was such an asshole, and now I got myself straightened out really properly. And like, okay, so then make a change. She doesn't. Ever since she started pretending to be a Muslim, she's carried on being the same vile pig that makes her money, while at the same time trying to sell that couples channel, which she figured was just going to be easy peasy, 60, 40, even 20K views per, of having people believe that she's in love with this guy and she is a Canadian in Kuwait, which is so exotic. And we can tell as adults that they're not in love, there's no chemistry, and when they fake it, it just comes off as laughable. So she will appeal to her Beezers, yet the Beezers still want her to just, do gross things and be an idiot. So she's borrowing that part of a story that applies to people who really are having a positive experience from their religion, which is, I used to be a jackass and now I'm fixed. So she says, oh, they were just a big teacher the way I used to be. Now, coming up next, she's going to warn you that there are no changes happening. She's going to say, I still struggle with that. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm going to be wrapping up with that she guaranteed is going to be continuing on with doing the same shit she's done before, which is why it's so disappointing for her to sit there, pretend to be a convert to this religion, and actually to hold up its holy book too. So let's carry on with this.
And I still struggle with a lot of demons. And within myself, I have a lot of issues that, as you've seen online, dealing with anger and a lot of character flaws that I continue to work on. And I know that the best way to do that for me is to be at peace with God and have faith in the grand plan. Everyone has one.
Chantel does not struggle with demons. Chantel is a demon. And she is already letting you know in advance that the horse shit is going to continue. She's wearing a costume. She's going to hold up a prop and shake it at you. And she says that she's become an official Muslim, yet her disgusting behavior is going to carry right on with her channel.
So I'm officially a Muslim. What does that mean? Well, I'm in some kind of system.
Or you would be if you believed in it. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as the Muslim police who are going to go and charge Chantel with a criminal offense and take her away because she doesn't believe in this religion. She's pretending for clicks and money, and she's going to carry right on being a vile pig on her channel.
And they take your ID, you have to fill out a form. The place where I went to take my Shahada was a very nice woman and a group of ladies.
All of whom stayed off camera because this is a fraud, and Chantel would not want anyone to figure out who those people were and then confront them and say, look what Chantel did after she took this vow to be an official Muslim. Please, liar, continue.
And I had to recite my oath, and she took the time to just educate me a bit on the background of Islam more. And
notice the pause? That's acting. Chantel is a bad actress, yet she is at least trying. and doesn't have to worry about doing a great job because it's for an audience of imbeciles, and she's trying to create a moment where they're explaining to her the religion, and she's paying attention and deciding to go with it, and she's telling you a real story. It's acting.
Asked me if I accepted certain beliefs of Islam. It talked about the history, the pillars, and if I accept the pillars, if I accept the prophets, if I accept Allah as the only creator, and of course I do.
Everything that this grifting bum is bringing for this fake story is unnecessary, ugly, stupid, which should not be allowed on this platform, which is meant for creative people. Some people are more creative than others. Some people get recognized, some people don't. This sort of thing shouldn't be here, especially given the history of all the bad things it's done in the past, yet here it is. And part of what it does is to put in a little fake laugh at the tail end of things which are not true, yet it adds to it to make it seem as if it is. It's like, and there's all the pillars. Do I accept? And of course I do. You know, the laugh is saying that I believe in these things so much, and they mean so much to me, to suggest the question that whether I believe in them or not is silly, which is why I've inserted the laugh. And this thing puts in that fake laugh at the tail end of all kinds of other lies. It's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And so there it is again. And she's making a mockery of that religion. And now she's going to shake the Holy Quran at her audience just like a prop.
Pillars, and if I accept the pillars, if I accept the prophets, if I accept Allah as the only creator, and of course I do. Salah also purchased for me my own Quran, and it's actually a very beautiful book, and it actually has English translated, and it has how it's supposed to be pronounced, and then it has the Arabic version. So inshallah, I will...
The creature was just about to say, take the time and learn more about my newfound faith. And that's where I've stopped it. And this is also the thumbnail. And I didn't change the size. I didn't change anything in it except to add some color and shadow. Here. Excellent work, is it not? And my channel is small. Go figure. In the background is the Grand Mosque, and in the foreground there is a KFC bucket. And I'm not putting the bucket there to make Muslims angry. It's to bring the truth to bear, which is Chantal is going to continue to be a pig while wearing the hijab and now claiming to be officially a Muslim. There will be no changes. And that's why one of the many reasons which makes what she's doing blasphemy and offensive to Muslim people, which is more than enough reason to get her off the platform permanently. Yet, I don't expect that's going to be happening anytime soon, if ever. So there she is pretending to be serious at the age of almost 39. So we expect she's making an adult decision here. And given her history, none of it is the truth. And she will return to just sitting on a couch and making an absolute pig of herself, which is why I added the KFC item, because it proves a point. If any of what she's offering is real, then she would just sit there and quietly read the Quran and not make a pig of herself anymore. And anyway, I'm almost done. I don't want to wrap this thing up too soon. She has a few more lies to offer. And anyway, let's get back to that and finish this.
Take the time and learn more about my newfound faith. So I know people see so many different sides of me.
What are you talking about? So many different sides of Chantal, as if you are an interesting person. The only side that you show is the one that's running through a Samsung computer filter. you don't even show up for a worthwhile appearance. I mean, it's bad enough you're wearing a costume and then you send it through a filter. You look like this. Only now you're even bigger than that, which is why you're wrapping yourself in the hijab and the abaya, and it's just very convenient for you that that style of attire fits in with the Muslim religion, and you're just using it for your own purposes. And she's going to go on to say, oh, with my faith, I will struggle to make changes. So she is already warning you that the bullshit is going to keep coming.
Some good, some not so good, and I do struggle, like I said, with becoming a better person, but inshallah, with my faith, I will continue on to keep trying.
So what are you doing here? How about just fuck off? If you say that you're now officially Muslim and you take it seriously, and that your Muslim husband is comfortable and a man of business. That's why, he doesn't come home, dirty and tired. He's into business. And so why don't you and your fabulous husband and your wonderful marriage to your soulmate and the money you have, and you don't have to do YouTube, why don't you just disappear and pound out all those demons and lose some weight while you're at it too, to show that that you can achieve anything, and do that. Instead of coming back here and making a fucking pig of yourself on camera while wearing the hijab and telling us that you have holy Quran somewhere in the apartment and that you're a true Muslim now. How about you go do that? How about you stop making pig videos and your stupid fake fights with others? Because it's all fake. It's all fake.
To become a better version of myself. I believe that we are here to serve Allah, not only ourselves and our own pleasures.
Those of us who know your history and remember it even though you've erased it, know that there's no difference between what you're doing right now and what you used to do, acting like a pontificating windbag, lecturing everybody about hardcore veganism and diet and exercise and nutrition. And you don't know anything about anything because you don't get into anything. You just pretend that you're doing something to draw attention to yourself. This is just like a water fast all over again, only you're wearing a costume for it. And so you believe that we are here to serve Allah, not our own desires. And how are you going to do that? By making more pig out videos on YouTube while wearing a hijab? Get the fuck out of here.
In life, and I've lived a life of just doing what I wanted for myself and not really giving it any thought for a long time. And I just cannot believe that I lived that way for so long and wondered why my life was so chaotic.
What do you mean your life was chaotic? You are a bum that smokes dope all day long and could not take 1 week of being a wife and mother of one kid. You would be saying, I can't deal. I need a therapist. You can't even take care of 2 cats. You're failing to take care of a $5 25-ounce hamster. Oh, my life was so chaotic. That is what your channel is about. You're a loser, nobody, stoner, zero, staring at the floor, coming up with dirty stories because you only ever had pizza in your fucking life, and it's because you're a warthog with all kinds of bad habits. And now you sit there and pretend like you gave up a life of cosmopolitan pleasures and wild chaos to become this devout Muslim person. Get the fuck out of here, chaotic life. Yeah, my finger slipped on the McDonald's app and I ended up with cheese, and I didn't want cheese.
I will do more videos in the future and talking about my thoughts, my beliefs, everything like that. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them. Positive and constructive is most appreciated.
The toddler demands respect. And if the comments are not positive and constructive, meaning entirely complementary to what it does and lies for, then you will be simply banned. Is it not pitiful that YouTube doesn't take the same opinion about Chantal and say, making fun of 9/11, luring minors into a dirty talking live stream, making fun of children getting shot, saying that black people are dirty dogs. Yeah, you're banned. No, she's welcome, and she gets to do the banning.
Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Now, going to wrap up, and then I'll play the last bit of footage that this wildebeest has to offer, and then I will answer that with more footage of the wildebeest, with which she doesn't even know what Mecca is, and that'll just be self-explanatory. So, oh yeah, and I'm going to show a picture, which I'm letting YouTube know because they hold all of my lives and they hold all of my pre-recordeds. This picture is censored, okay, guys? It's censored. Heavily censored. So, should be no problem there. The material that will be coming from this lying creature will be more of the same. She pretends to be officially Muslim and married and to this wonderful Muslim man. All of it is a lie. And if any of it were true, then she wouldn't even be here on this platform hunting for clicks and cash. She is going to continue screeching at French fried girl with a fake fight she has going on with that loser. And she's going to continue squawking about Nader El-Shami. And he will continue squawking about her. And when she gets back to Canada, there is going to be no criminal charge brought by her for revenge porn. There's going to be no criminal charge brought by her against French fried girl for criminal harassment. None of it is going to take place. And Chantal is not going to report Nader's channel. He's not going to report her channel. All the same shit will carry on with this liar. And if anything that she was saying were true, she wouldn't care about French fried girl and all of the petty teenage sort of baloney that she wants to bring to keep an audience of imbeciles clicking and getting her free cash with no work, no creativity, nothing to bring except lies. That's what it's going to be. And more pig-outs. Pig-outs, 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 pig-outs. From this pig who has sold itself for $5 a month on OnlyFans. So she is not in any position to be making this transition. It's all fake. You know, if she wants to make the argument that people can change, yeah, earn it. Earn it. And show that you're serious about something. Don't stay on YouTube and keep screeching about French fried girl and talking about bodily discharges on your community tab while you pretend to be Muslim. Those of us here can tell it's all bullshit. It's profane and blasphemous, and you should be off the platform. So that's it. And everything that I predicted about this thing is going to happen. What she's offering is not happening. Let's get rid of that picture. Let's go back to this piece of garbage. Finish off your video, you creature, and then I will finish off with the earlier footage from this thing. And she ends by laughing at all of it.
Masalama.
So,
Flop era, I can show you Mecca direction from like this on our left.
you can what?
Mecca direction. When we pray, we have to go toward the Mecca direction.
Oh, Mecca, yes.
Yeah, Mecca.
I don't know, Kitty.
No, nobody on them, like Lambo, sofa. No, nobody blocked, by the way.
Yeah. Kitty. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the smoky, scratchy voice gets on my nerves. They cared, but keep calling it invasive. Well, it is invasive.
Molly said, Chantal, why is everything blue? Let's change. How about this?
I'm blue, la da dee da da da.
This is
Ooh.
the real blue, by the way.
Look how weird we look in the